So if you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. Okay. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days.
Okay, so first of all, yes, fellas, dating is not free. If you can't afford to go out for dinner and do a few things as you're vetting and getting to know a woman, you have some things that you need to reprioritize in your life first.
Put in the work, please sacrifice. It's worth it, I promise, I promise.
It kind of sucks. It feels like I'm just working right now like a slave, so.
Dude, I worked my absolute off when I was trying to get out of my bad debt. And it is the most worth it thing I ever did.
But I'm going to take this video sideways for the people because I'm feeling like I want to start something. So, did you know that the median income in America is less than $50K per year? So, are these ladies really saying that the majority of American men should not even date? Now, did you also know that the average weight for a 20-year-old woman in America is 170 pounds? So what would it look like if we matched that same energy and said that no woman over 170 pounds should be allowed to date, as they will set a poor example of physical health for their future families? And of course, it's unfair to equate the two, since physical health is far easier for the average person to attain than financial wealth. So yeah, 50K per year might not be enough to date a woman who looks like her grocery bill comes to about 20K per year.
What did he say?
Some of y'all ladies, especially the loudest of you, are broke yourselves. And yet you are still spending $500 a month on hair, nails, and Shein, hoping to trap some sucker into paying off your 50K in student debt.
You look at a lot of women today and they will look you dead in the face and be average at best, and then tell you without flinching, without blinking, that they are a queen.
Now, of course, I am obviously speaking extremely facetiously in order to ruffle some feathers and to poke the proverbial hornet's nest, but on a genuinely serious note, I do not know who is in charge of educating people today, but the sheer amount of ignorance that I see day in and day out, especially on the internet, is out of hand. Oh, and not to mention, one of the worst parts about that video was when she said that a man who is under that 50K threshold and doesn't have much for disposable income has to go find a bottom of the barrel bitch who will be okay with less materialism.
Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have the expectation.
So are we really suggesting that any woman who is with a man with an average income is a bottom of the barrel bitch? What she's really saying, without saying it outright, is this: the reason I am single is because I'm better than all of these average women out here. They are all beneath me. I am a queen amongst peasants, therefore I deserve money. And men just can't handle that, so they go find less. This is the sound of ego issues trying to cope. It exposes her true colors, and it is poor character that truly anchors people to the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion, no matter how they try to paint themselves on the outside.
We've handily busted this myth. You can, in fact, polish a poop.
And what wrinkles my brain sometimes is how women are so much more likely to come together in solidarity behind such blatant audacity, clap their hands and say, "Yes, queen, know your worth." I'm just trying to picture some 5'9", overweight, average, everyday bloke talking about how he expects to date women who are successful and heavily into fitness. Otherwise, they can get with some complacent bottom of the barrel loser who doesn't care about such things. Such a man would become a meme in less than 48 hours. So, as much as men have the audacity, in my observation, there is plenty of it to go around.
men's rights activist.
Men's rights to go to war and die. Go to war and die.
Would you date a guy that makes $75K a year?
No, that's so cute. No. I don't think that he could afford our groceries.
You want her number? Ask for her Apple Pay. Is she having a bad day? Send her $500 at Churro. If you really want to show husband material when you know she's out with her friends or her sister or her cousins, send her enough money to cover the entire bill for everyone.
I want a man 6'4", 6'2" is fine. Or like a retired NBA player. Like I want his life to be the Bible. Like I want my dude to speak in tongues and have tattoos. Honestly, if I was a guy, even if I saw like I was a guy and I saw a random girl paying for her valet, I probably would have so much pride. Like, I'd pay for the random person. I would not be able to be a man around women letting them pay for things. To be quite honest, it's embarrassing. What are you being frugal for? You can't take it with you when you die.
It's the biggest turnoff ever.
I definitely want a huge rock, so I'm gonna guess that it probably cost about at least like $500,000.
Should the guy pay for the engagement ring?
He needs to pay again. $500. He gets paid every year. $500. He saves that towards the ring. If he doesn't, he's gonna get a no, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
The median income in America is $45K per year. So are we really suggesting that dating should be exclusive to the top 10 to 15% of men making upwards of $80K to $100K per year, most of whom are going to be in their late 30s, 40s and upwards? Is this really what relationships have come to today? I swear that almost all of these chronically online conversations about dating are in reality actually about money and materialism. It's all just a bunch of privileged and entitled people verbally vomiting into microphones about what they believe that life owes them and pointing fingers at who's to blame and who needs to pay. But let's talk a little bit about money, since that seems to be what most of these conversations about relationships are really about.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
So, according to Wall Street Journal and Forbes, married couples in their early 20s, no kids, have 5 to 9 times the earning potential in comparison to their single peers. 5 to 9 times. If you want to talk about money, partnership is the rocket ship to wealth and financial freedom. Mutual contribution. But y'all do not want to hear that. I am reminded of a famous ancient proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And most of you guys are trying to go fast. You are living for instant gratification and selfishness. The single life is great for living the fast life. It is exactly what society is selling to you as your best life. But in reality, life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And only people with some level of an abundance mindset, people who are able to think long term, people who are not blinded by their wounds and fears and selfishness, will understand what I am saying. I am not sure what socioeconomic environment that the ladies in that video exist in, but typically people who speak like that are not really looking for relationship and partnership, because relationships are sacrificial. They are not superficial. Truth is, most men and women in America today will have to swallow the fact that they must both contribute and partner financially in their relationships, and they must act accordingly. Scenario: imagine making $60K per year and thinking that you are too good for someone who is a great person and a great partner, but only makes $50K per year. And rather than partnering together, you say, nah, that is settling. I would rather be single. Do you realize that partnership would mean that your living costs get cut and your household income increases by $50K? Not to mention the mindset shift that happens when you start working together towards common financial goals. You realize that teaming up could mean $100,000 in an investment portfolio in less than 3 years. But nah, you are going to pass up on this great person and stay living check to check with your $60K because you are too entitled and selfish to play on a team. Relationships are a team sport by definition. Maybe your problem is you don't want to tell your friends that your man isn't funding your entire lifestyle. Maybe you spend too much time comparing your life to what you see on social media. But I also get that. Never before in human history were we barraged 24/7 by all of the things that we do not have, comparing our lives to the top 1% in the world. The fact that I can choose what shoes I feel like wearing every day to match my fit should have me feeling more blessed than 99% of anyone who has ever lived in history. And yet I feel like I'm a failure of a man because I'm 33 right now and I'm not yet a millionaire. The audacity of that is actually insanity. And most of y'all talking the loudest in these conversations come from broken homes and broken relationships and broken childhoods and a broke bank account.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Almost every single person who is now a millionaire got married and built that wealth within a relationship. And healthy people are not chronically online talking nonsense, listing all of their expectations and constantly complaining and criticizing about XYZ and men this and women that on podcasts because they are too busy being in healthy relationships and working towards lifetime goals as a team with their partners. And the cruel irony of all of this is that people who do not know how to play on a team do not make it onto a team. The depth of our relationships will always be a reflection of ourselves.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And yes, right now I am selling the idea of financial benefits of marriage and romantic relationships because I do think that society is misguided and I'm tired of hearing people shit on it. But I'm really trying to encourage conversation around your mindset because this is not just about marriage. You can take this same concept and apply it to a team of friends and family. And I think that based on the current economic situation in America and Canada and a lot of the world today, more of you need to start thinking this way. You're welcome.